Of her, the earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Try it with me. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. The ice. The ice is our brother. We must take care of him. The ice is our brother. We must take care of him. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. The earth. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. The ice. The ice is our brother. We must take care of her. The ice is our brother. We must take care of him. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung. Hey, yung ho, yung hey, yung.
Climate change, you say? And I reply, no, I'm afraid not. Climate collapse, it is. No climate change anymore, climate collapse. For the first time in our time, we are hearing the sounds of water trumpets announcing that the end is near. The end is near. Paraphrasing Brazilian singer Gilberto Gil, there is a fear for the first time in our history that U.S. redemption is not happening. That U.S. mighty will not be able to save us or protect us from the biggest enemy we are dealing ourselves right now, climate collapse. Hollywood have tried to find the worst enemies for us, but with might and brilliancy and power, we have always been able to defeat them all. From outside of the world, from inside of the world, from under the world, we have defeated them all. However, what Hollywood did not realize, neither did we, is that our enemy was hidden in plain sight. It was us. It has always been ourselves and our lust for everything, our desire for excesses, our entitlement, our love for profit, our perverse pleasure for never-ending gainings and unending ability for exploitation has brought us now to a dead end. And now there's no more postponement of redemption anymore. Rather, we must face the ugly ghost of a terrible impossibility. We are now truly afraid of the future. So today we gather here to name these issues that we are dealing with right now, with the end of our history and our age, and find ways of mutual sustenance. Today we are talking about global warming, and with consequent ice and glaciers melting. Since the earth, guy, is a living organism, it cannot lose its proper temperature, just like our bodies. When we get fever, our bodies tells us there's something wrong. The same way Gaia is in fever right now and is not feeling well. The earth temperature is already very high. July was the hottest month in our whole history. Scientists and governments have made a deal that we must work to keep the rise of temperatures to 1.5 degrees. But now we are working with the reality of perhaps 2 degrees and perhaps 2.5. And some people have said, well, perhaps 3. And with the fact is that we are getting warmer, and since the early 1900s, many glaciers around the world have been rapidly melting. Human activities at the root of this phenomenon. Specifically, since the Industrial Revolution, carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions due to fossil fuel have raised temperature even higher in the poles, and as a result, glaciers are rapidly melting, calving off into the sea and retreating on land. Even if we significantly curb emissions in the coming decades, more than a third of the world's remaining glaciers will melt in the next coming years. When it comes to sea ice, 95% of the oldest and thickest ice in the Arctic is already gone. Scientists project that if emissions continue to rise unchecked, the Arctic could be ice-free in the summer as soon as the year 2300? 2040. As ocean and air temperatures continue to rise rapidly. And I could give you lots of numbers, but that's not important right now, even though they are very important to understand. Perhaps it's enough to say that with ice and polar caps melting everywhere, there will be no ways to go back to colder temperatures. And the consequences will be some of the ones we know and some that we have no idea. But what we know is that we'll have long, heavy droughts with severe rains and thunderstorms, global sea level rise and disappearance of the entire cities, including New York, alteration of ocean patterns, mass extinction of species, poverty, global migration due to climate change, and wars over the sources of life. Hannah Arendt talks about a feeling of loneliness in the midst of this social craziness, social dementia, she says. A heightened feeling of social disarray. Loneliness joins the feelings of feeling paralyzed. And while we have to attend to those feelings, we have also to respond. Because those corporations that are denying climate collapse, so said Koch brothers, all of the U.S. petroleum companies like Exxon, Mobil, and the whole government of the United States are moving into full swing, trying to convince us with their charlatanism there is nothing happening. And the worst, we haven't woken fully to its daring dimensions yet. Churches are silent, the schools are silent, and even our school doesn't take this as a priority. But nothing is more fundamental than the well-being of the earth, and it is from the well-being of the earth that every other concern flows. So today we are reminding ourselves of the ice melting, at the same time trying to figure out how do we find ways to cope, to show solidarity with one another and with the earth. We gather together here in order to ponder, wonder, listen, sing, pray, and witness to each other's presence. And then let us get involved with organizing and pressing the government. Be active. Next September 20th, there will be a global strike. Global climate change strike. Be involved. As Jonathan Franzen recently put it in New York, any movement toward a more just and civil society can now be considered a meaningful climate action. Securing fair elections is a climate action. Combating extreme wealth inequality is a climate action. Shutting down the hate machines of social media is a climate action. Instituting humane immigration policy, advocating for racial and gender equality, promoting respect for laws and their enforcement, supporting a free and independent press, ridding the country of assault weapons. These are meaningful climate actions, he says. And as we do it, take care of your heart. Embrace despair if needed until peace finds a way in and through it. Find your trust. As the psalmist says in Psalm 56:3, when I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. Be afraid, indeed, be afraid, until you are not anymore. And then, do not be afraid. We are here for you, and you are here for us. We are in this together. And no one will let anybody's hands go unattended without being tightly held and kindly cared. And let us ponder in what Jewish theologian Mark Ellis said, mourning isn't about giving up. Mourning is freeing us of our old versions of deflections. We begin again. We will now have music and silence, and as we witness the ice melting, and this is for you to think with the water, let the water wash over you. Let your whole being become the water, become the river, become the glaciers falling. We are made of so much water. Let water be what it is, you. Let you be who you are, water. Watch the ice melting. And if thoughts arise, let them go until your mind becomes nothing but the melting ice. Let's do this together.
we must shift from saying must to will. The earth is our mother, we will take care of her. The earth is our mother, we will take care of her. Hey yung ho yung hey yung yung. Hey yung ho yung hey. The ice. The ice is our brother, we will take care of him. The ice is our brother, we will take care of him. Hey yung ho yung hey yung yung. Hey yung ho yung hey yung yung. Hey yung ho yung hey yung yung. Hey yung ho yung hey yung yung.
As you continue to bear witness to the ice melting, we invite you in the next few minutes to maybe move closer, to sit with the ice, to sit with the water, to pray with them. And as you make this movement closer, we invite you to remember the sacred waters of your body, the sacred waters of your home, and to consider the idea that these waters are all one.
We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. We are going. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there.
Thank you all for joining us. May we go with gratitude for the waters of the air and of the clouds that we draw into our lungs. May we go with gratitude for the waters of the rivers and lakes and springs and reservoirs and ancient wells that we draw into our parched lips. We are holders of the water, carriers and vessels of the water. And may we go with gratitude for this responsibility that we carry in our throats and in our bellies and in our very cells.
Let's stand together and sing one more time. It will be hard. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will.